White nationalism is increasingly coursing through the veins of the American right. Over the weekend, roughly 150 white supremacists marched in.
Chico didn't want to be here for the segment. I don't blame him. Okay, if you're unaware of Richard Medhurst, I will give you a quick background. My knowledge of Richard Medhurst first appeared to me when I was scrolling through the YouTubes, and he had a very good segment on American imperialism. I had been following him for some time afterwards. I believe we followed each other on Twitter. He's done quite a few investigations again into U.S. imperialism. And then I noticed he was kind of going down that pipeline that a lot of people end up in when their entire ethos is simply U.S. imperialism bad, which, yes, it is. Absolutely. We need to combat it. But it kind of goes to that whole Aaron Mate, Jimmy Dore, China, Iran, Syria, good, U.S. bad kind of pipeline. And obviously, Richard Medhurst grew eventually to such a size that he got picked up by RT, which of course is the state-run Russian news network, and has then become a full-time RT reporter since then. Now, this just came out the other day, and he has not responded to it. I'm going to read it out. It's obviously very concerning. I'm going to put a content warning up because things will be a little bit graphic. If you are triggered by grooming or triggered by people who are predatory towards minors, I would probably ask that you tune away for this next segment. Just close the door so Chico doesn't have to hear any of this. Okay, so this article comes out. Richard Medhurst, another cog in the pedo to political journalist timeline. When I was 18 years old, I became a co-moderator of what would soon be one of the biggest mental health advocacy groups on Facebook. What I didn't know was that the owner of the group, a man who went by a few names like Papi Chulomin and Richie Medhurst, was hiding how manipulative and abusive he really was, all under the power of advocacy. Listen to me. If you ever swear to me again, I will fucking kill you. Do you understand? Here he is threatening victim A that he wishes to remain anonymous, who was 15 when the illegal relationship started. I became friends with the two victims 3 years ago. We clicked instantly, sharing jokes, telling secrets, and venting our frustrations that we couldn't go with anyone else. But then there was one victim A never wanted to give specific details on, and this was the abusive relationships he was having with Papi Chulomin, aka Richard Medhurst, shitposter turned political journalist. I had my suspicions, given the hints I would speculate with Angelina, and not knowing that she was also dealing with the exact same thing. Do you know this person? I asked her last night and she said no, but she could be protecting someone. She said she would never tell. I had a creepy feeling about that too. I know. BPD, protecting a rep, sounds, sus. I don't want to say it's just a major assumption. I know those were the messages that sounds really similar. And he's fucking what, in his 20s? Last I remember, she's barely 16. Yeah, he's like hella old, and yeah, she's a baby. I realized he wasn't saying anything to y'all like he used to, and I wasn't commenting on the things, so I was assuming, me too. It sounds a lot like him, and if this is, everyone loves him and is up his ass, who could say what happens to that? Me speculating with Angelina, the second victim, if Richard was who he was hurting, victim A or not. Angelina was 17 when he started flirting with her, sending suggestive messages and joking around about taking her on dates. Mind you, while he was grooming a 15 and a 17-year-old, he was already in his mid-20s, and this is the point. Not that, by the way, grooming at, 19 is acceptable. Grooming is grooming. Screenshots of the suggestive nature in which Richard spoke with Angelina, including a selfie he took for her. So, is this one not available? Okay, anyways, here's a picture of Richard. Hi, my name's Rich. I really dig you. Boy, I'm fucking infatuated. Heart.jpg. Heart. I'm going to take my dog roller skating today. LMFAO. Laughing out loud. True. He sends, can I eat that pussy as a friend? Nothing more. I don't want to make things complicated. Wants more though. Oh fuck. You can just communicate to me in memes and we can snog. I'll just become a mute. How perfect. I'll take you on real dates. God, finally someone will. LMFAO. You never know if I'm taking the Mickey or actually being serious. Richard controlled everything Victim A would do, how long she was on the phone, what she was doing, how long she was doing it, so much so that he made her the manager of his YouTube account with the name Mrs. Medhurst. This again is purported to be a 16-year-old. Yeah, so fuck. Emailed invitation to victim A to become Richard's YouTube manager. Richard would constantly call her. If she wasn't answering her phone, he would repeatedly call her. She would answer. Once she answered, he kept her on the phone nearly all day. Look at this. 4 a.m. 4 a.m. 4 a.m. Like ring, 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 ring. Missed call, missed call, missed call, missed call, missed call, missed call, missed call. This is like 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes. The spam calls ranging from early morning to late at night. One time, he even sent her money as a form of an apology for how he was treating her. You received $60 from Richard Medhurst. More evidence being posted. I worked on the Depression Meals Gone Wild group for 3 years with Angelina. He owned the group and would sometimes come in to warn people that he would have them removed from the group, a far cry from what people have been saying about him recently. AKA zero tolerance for racist, homophobic, transphobic slurs. If you see someone commenting on any report, please let us know. We'll ban them. He tried keeping her away from telling us what was going on there for 3 years. He would theorize in private that if Richard, because of the timeline, he was too perfect, hiding his name was the biggest red flag. Recently, she told us who it was. She was able to tell us because she finally got away from him. I didn't want to let it go. Given the current social status, I knew we needed to come out about it. She agreed as long as I kept her anonymous. This dredged up screenshots and rehashing of trauma. It reminded Angelina that she went through something extremely similar with him. We never thought he'd become relevant, and quite honestly didn't know the specifics of his work, who he tied to, who he works for. Now this is making the truth of his work come out. This is calling into question his affiliation with certain news networks. Again, he has now been hired as a full-time reporter for RT. However, let me make one thing perfectly clear. Victims coming out about political journalists, senators, mayors, or whoever else isn't some farce to mess with their money or a CIA-level mission to push them back down to earth. We did not know and still do not understand the severity of his journalism, his politics, or whatever else he's doing regarding his work. Richard was a Facebook memer when he became connected to him. He wouldn't have gotten to where he is today if he wasn't stepping on people and abusing others. Now, of course, these are accusations. There's been nothing verified. I do not believe he's made a public statement on this. So I would like to, reiterate at this point that this is accusations made by victims. As I always state, in the interest of protecting victims, I always follow the philosophy of believing all victims. And that doesn't mean necessarily that Richard is guilty in any way, shape, or form. Same thing as when we were reporting on Virgil, Texas. It's obviously incredibly troubling, the information that has come out. However, at this time, we obviously have to wait for Richard to make a statement and or respond to any of this. Can you show a picture of him? I can show you the photo that he sent. It's this one right here. Again, he's got a very prominent YouTube channel. He has a lot of very big guests on. He had Glenn Greenwald on the other day. He's had Jimmy Dore on. He's had Aaron Maté on. Again, he's part of this entire pipeline of individuals. Now, I don't want to also take away from any of their work. Oh yeah, no, he's a leftist. He's one of the anti-imperialist left. I don't want to take away from any of their work because the messaging, and especially trying to fight U.S. imperialism, that is important. And I'm not trying to diminish any of that. However, once you get so far down that pipeline that you start to get into the conspiratorial side, and we're about to watch a debate between, of course, Jason Hinkle and Vosh. So there's a definite problem of going so far down a certain pipeline that you actually become conspiratorial. That being said, the reason I'm reporting on this, of course, is to talk about these very, very serious allegations of grooming, pedophilia, and also abuse at the hands of Richard Medhurst towards individuals that are 15, 16, and 17 in relation to all this. So this is obviously incredibly serious. And it's Jackson. Oh, sorry. Jackson Hinkle. This is incredibly serious. And ideally, we're going to give enough space for the victims in this case, not the anonymous ones, but the one who wrote this article, to be able to speak about this. And ideally, hopefully, Richard is going to address it at a certain point. And that's all there really is to say about this. Yeah. I never knew who this person was. Like I said, they're up and coming. They're growing to such a size now that they actually got hired by RT. And for the most part, I wasn't actually against Richard's reporting up until the point where it started devolving into that whole, like, I think there's again a side of the quote unquote left that delves into conspiracy theories in servitude to RT, or trying to uphold other nation states in opposition to the US, where you're no longer really acting in what I would say is trying to uphold leftism and leftist policies, aka trying to defend workers, minorities, oppressed communities, stuff like that. You kind of devolve into that. RT isn't all bad. Yeah, no, it's not. I have been on RT. I was a guest on RT. I wasn't a reporter for RT, but I was on a panel of RT where I got to, make fun of a Boogaloo boy. Or was it a Boogaloo boy? What was he? I think he was a Boogaloo boy. Anyways, I was the first one to shame him publicly. And then he ended up losing an election in an upcoming election. It was a fantastic moment. But I'm not saying that every single part of their reporting is bad, the same way that every single part of the reporting of multiple agencies is not bad. CNN is fucking pretty fucked up in both their coverage and their messaging. At the same time, of course, there are stories that CNN does that have veracity, that are good. I must have had a good nose for leftist content creators. Only certain redacted from redacted turns out to be a dipshit I followed. I've only heard of Medhurst after the evolving, so I never got a good impression. What's with all these men being creeps? I don't know the answer to that one. That one sucks. The lower you go down on the beaver, the softer the fur is. That was what I said on RT. That was an actual quote. I got to say that on RT. I'm quite happy with that and how that turned out. I would do it again. I haven't been invited back though. I don't understand if that has anything to do with what happened. I assume it's just because I was dropping too many truth bombs. Too many truth bombs per minute, and they couldn't handle it. That's what I'm gonna say. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Can you do the thing, that thumbs up and comment and all those things that help us out in the algorithm that controls every aspect of our lives? Also, if you happen to have a Facebook account, can you delete it? Like just delete it. You should probably delete your Facebook account because it's not a great company. But hey, if you can't do that for whatever reason, I understand. And could you also go to facebook.com/thesurftimes then and give us a little like and a follow. We're just trying to push back against the fact that people like Ben Shapiro happen to dominate the platform entirely. And when everyone asks why do older generations believe the things they believe, one of the problems is the majority of them on social media use Facebook. So to counter that, we're just going to be on there too now. Also, if you happen to have a union or a worker co-op or even a leftist project, podcast, website, Zoom, MySpace, it doesn't matter. We will advertise it for free on this channel. All you got to do is go to weareserfs.com and use the forms that we got there, weareserfs.com. Thanks, everybody.
To our gods, Xander Corvus and VK Jehannam, we are prepared to commit human sacrifices for your eternal glory. To our monarchs, the Tim Caucus and Tom Spiker, we are humbled to be your oafish jesters, clowning around in your royal court. To our lords, Evan Nudie, Tofox, Ryan Lubin, Trevor R., Jeff Lamb, and Alexander Thaler, we shall proudly carry your standard onto the battlefield and die for your precious land. To our esteemed Knights of the Round Table, Dark Puppy, Jenna Towell, Anna Loves Riley, Quiet 185, Omni, Riley and Anna, Poodlehawk, Multimondi, Trevor Janis, Lemmy 101, Anthropophojak, Saren 42, Chronic to Hemphog, The Great Pudini, Bone Genie, Catherine, Radical Maniac, Ramona Costa, J. Fraser Cartwright, Jimmy Bignuts, Violent Orchard, Sophie Baby, Andreas Chiringuito, Zach Christensen, Yopi, Josh Mickelson, Todd Buckingham, and Todd Lajeunesse. We raise our glass, we raise our swords, and we salute you.